This is the first module running. Well, it's not currently running, but before I run it, I'm just going to explain what everything does. That was just some testing. Ignore that. I also need to patch this up real quick. But basically, what's going to happen is Snow Golem goes into the minecart. I'm going to switch into spectator. So it goes into the minecart. Detector rail will trigger 4-tick pulse to the piston, which pushes this ancient debris across. The reason why there's a delay is so that the snow golem will get off here, but then won't immediately get picked back up because that was happening before. So piston goes, and then at the same time, little redstone torch tower, which goes all the way up. Copper bulb comparator. It's basically a T flip-flop. There we have, oh, wow, we are almost out of TNT. Let me get another stack, just to reload that. So, yeah. Dispenses TNT. Inverted signal over here with a long delay for another. We can't actually see it, but there's a piston in there, or sticky piston rather, with ancient debris. Ancient debris will cover up. It'll block the TNT from falling. And then, at just the right moment, ancient debris will retract. TNT will fall. Oh yeah, also when the snowman gets dropped off, it's gonna make snow. Yeah, so TNT will fall and destroy the snow. Explosion, sound of the explosion will trigger this calibrated skulk sensor to fire this dispenser twice. See, there's a water bucket in there, so immediately fires once, drops the water, waits a little bit, picks the water back up. However, because this is on a T flip-flop, the thing with the TNT and the skulk sensor will only happen when this snowman is not there. So, what I'm going to do is go right over here. Just summoning Snow Golem because it's much easier. I'm doing this hundreds of times. I push, you can see. So I made sure the Snow Golem didn't have any AI, but normally it would walk around. Yeah, so it gets picked up. TNT's falling. You can see there's the ancient debris getting retracted. Then Snow Golem's getting dropped off again. Minecart goes around, and this is far from optimal. I know I can have the track be shorter probably, but I'm too lazy to figure it all out right now. And also how many of these I can have going at once on the same track. I'm thinking 4 at once, so then there'd be 2 snow golems at a time. Yeah, so then also all of the snowballs go into any one of these 3 hoppers, which feed into this barrel, feed into this hopper, feed into this auto crafter. And yeah, for some reason not a lot's coming through right now. I'm not sure why we're getting very bad rates, but once this fills up, basically it's gonna trigger. Yep, that happened. So, oh, I already have one in my inventory, so I guess it's made 2 already. And basically, the way I have it is 9 signal strength, just enough for the sticky piston to push the 2 observers. And this way, they can instead of having it just go off one time, because it could actually break if you do it any differently from this. Like, let's say all of a sudden a bunch of snowballs are put in at once, then, yeah, it would trigger once, and then crafter will be full. Nothing else would be able to go in. The one thing that this doesn't account for, I guess, when we, I guess ideally this would have actually an item sorted to make sure only snowballs go in, because if anything other than a snowball goes in, it'll just completely break the machine. So I just put the minecart in there. Yeah, and what happens is fills up, but it's not going to craft anything. So I'm going to take that out. Retracts the observer. And yeah, so that is just about it. Oh yeah, didn't show this yet, but basically, I mean, so right here we have a detector rail. That's what triggers everything basically, and right here is an activator rail, always active, so it will kick out the snowman every time that they get to that exact block. The levers around are mostly, yeah, I mean, they don't need to be in that exact spot. I mean, like, that lever doesn't even need to be there at all. Not sure why it is. And what else is there? And I think that's about it. Kind of funky redstone that I'm doing right here. Didn't need to make that little dip. But yeah, I mean, I actually installed a binary counter at first up here, and would only go off every other time that the snowman gets picked up. And that was so I was doing a little bit too much there. What other issues did I have? Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of issues. Figuring out the autocrafter wasn't too difficult. It wasn't too hard. Getting the timing of the piston took a little bit of trial and error. Oh, okay. That's gonna need to also be a hopper. But yeah, so we are losing a couple snowballs right there. There's that. Oh, getting the dispenser timing was actually really annoying because first I just had it with an observer going into the skulk sensor, or calibrated skulk sensor, and the reason why that didn't work is because the dispenser would get fired twice. I can actually just show you. So if we take a calibrated skulk sensor, it can just be regular skulk sensor for this demonstration, an observer, and then a dispenser, and a water bucket. So a little something going on like this. Okay. Actually, I guess that's not very effective. I will just for the demonstration. Oh, forgot the comparator. Yeah, I mean, I could just oops. Yeah, if I do that, just kill it. Forgot to put the water in. But it's interesting. It doesn't normally go off 3 times. Not exactly sure why that happened. But yeah, that's just like one of the issues that can come up. But the main issue is that the water didn't have enough time to flow before it got picked up. So the items wouldn't go into the hopper. Look at that. And so we're at 10 snow blocks now. So I mean, like, obviously not the fastest thing in the world. But I mean, it's pretty easy to get this going twice as fast, I think. And add maybe like 20% more efficiency from better drop rates. So that's at, what is that, 120 snow blocks in however much time this has been. Which, honestly, like, nothing is gonna beat just using a regular shovel. But if you have this going on in the background, it can be pretty nice. Especially if, like, you want to build something with snow. You know, like, as you're building whatever. Like, a penis. If you're building, like, a really big penis and you run out of snow, then you can come back here to the machine that's been running in the background. So that's definitely a benefit of it, as opposed to using a regular snow farm. Yeah, there's also like a weather-based one you could do, such as let's see if we make this snowy plains. Set the weather to rain. You know, if you were to just speed it up a little bit. I'll speed it up by more than that. But yeah. Oh, that's actually super. Not sure why it works like that, but basically if you get a snowy biome, you can place obsidian on the ground and then use TNT from there. But the issue with that is, first of all, it needs to be in a snowy biome, and second of all, it's also weather dependent. And also, I don't think it would be even close to as fast unless you have like a bunch set up. Hello? Okay, that weather took a lot of time to clear. Yeah, so now some of my other things. This was like the first one that I thought I had it, but basically I couldn't link up the TNT and the dispenser properly, so I had to go with a completely different design for the redstone. And because I thought I had it, that's why I pasted it a bunch of times. This is my original TNT design. I was figuring out how long I can wait before retracting the piston without blowing anything up, and that way I don't have to build it up like super duper high. This is where I was testing the explosion. That way I knew so